What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, where we're talking land flipping, we're talking new construction, and we're talking private lending. Today, I'm going to go through pretty much everything that I use in my land flipping business and my development business in order to help me get deals closed, build relationships with builders, lenders, how I find deals, free ways for you to be able to find lots in your area, the whole nine, right? And I have all this compressed, and if you pay for the $97 one-on-one that I have, you'll get all these documents, you'll get the software, Excel, the whole nine. So let's just jump right into it. I just want to show you what I have. And if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. Okay, so here we go. So this is pretty much what you're going to need. Everything that I use, right? Starting with the assignment contract, right? The assignment contract, that's what you're going to use to assign your rights for the original contract over to your end buyer. This is an unimproved property contract. This is the form that if you're in Texas, I recommend do not use generic contracts. Just go ahead and use the TREC forms, the same forms that realtors use. So you're going to fill out seller, buyer, so seller's name, company, whatever, your name, and or assigns, right? You got to make sure you put your name or your company name and or assign, so that way you can assign the rights. The property information here, your price. You're going to fill this out. Earnest money goes here. Escrow officer, the address to the title company, all this information goes here. The amount of earnest money. I typically don't do termination days or anything like that. Then we're going to go down here. This is if you decide you want to cover the seller's closing costs, or if the seller needs to cover, this is where you will fill that out. Property conditions, buyer accepts property as is. Now, if the seller's like, hey man, I have some stuff there that I need to get off the lot or whatever, all that stuff. If anything like that happens, then you need to put two, buyer accepts property as is, as such shall complete the following, like if need be. This is very rare. I typically just click the buyer accepts property as is. And then you would kind of talk to the seller around this. I typically just hit these or leave it blank, right? Now, closing date, boom, that's pretty straightforward. Special provisions. So this is like, maybe, let's say if you are going to pay, the end buyer is going to pay for the survey, right? Typically with title companies, they're not going to order a survey until they have a clear title, right? So you can just go, buyers will pay for survey once clear title is delivered, right? You can put that in the special provisions. Or buyer will pay 50% of seller's closing costs, right? Anything in here you put right here in the special provisions, right? And then after that, it's pretty straightforward. So once this is what you send to the seller via DocuSign, you can go meet the seller at their house, Starbucks, whatever, right? So after you get this signed, you're going to send this to the title company. It has to be executed by you and the seller. Send it to the title company, simple email. Hey, here's the address of this property. Please see attached executed unimproved property contract. Can we please get title open? Here's the seller's information: first name, last name, or company name, their email, their phone number. Boom. They should be able to run and get title open, right? After you do that, what you're going to do is then you have your assignment contract. This is the document that you're going to use to assign the rights for that original contract over to your end buyer. So this is pretty much what this is going to look like. Okay, here we go. Here's the assignment, one pager, simple. You're going to put the assigner is you, the assignee is your end buyer. Here's the address. Property escrow is held at the name of the title company, right? Then you're going to here's the closing. You put the closing date information here. The earnest money, how much is the earnest money? That's going to be here as well. And then here's the amount that you're going to, whoever the end buyer is buying it for. So if you got the property under contract for 80 and you're selling it for 100,000 goes here. So your original price is 80, which is going to go on the original contract that we just got done with. And then your new price is 100. It's going to go here. So that way you're going to collect the difference. Like that's going to go to you as the wholesaler. And then down here, you're going to put all these last four. You're going to put the name of the title company here. Then DocuSign, simple, cheap, send it to them. Boom. Once you have this executed as well, send this same document to that same escrow officer or escrow assistant, whatever. Send that to them. Say, hey, here's the assignment contract. Here's the contact information of my end buyer. Name, company name, email, telephone number, right? And boom, you're pretty much good to go, right? So now what you're waiting on is them to deliver your title commitment. Once you get the title commitment, if title is clear, then they'll proceed to order a survey. Depending on how big your lot is, that's kind of going to determine how long the survey is going to take. So if we're just going with something small like a 5,000 square foot lot, 10,000 square foot lot, something like that, I would say anywhere between 3 to 5 days, right? Title search should take anywhere from 2 to 4 days. So if, let's say best case scenario, if everything goes smooth, you should be able to get title open, title commitment back, survey ordered, survey back within about 10 to 12 days, right? So if now once everything comes, boom, the buyer sees the survey, everything's good, title's clear, boom, close. That's pretty much how it works, right? So in order to get to that position, you got to know how to evaluate the land that you're seeing, right? But the best way to get the information is to get on the MLS in your market, right? So you're going to see data in real time, real sold comps, all of that. But if you don't have access to that, you can do the prop stream route. You can do prop wire. There's different stuff, but if you're just trying to do something like get started ASAP and you don't have money, this is the easiest way to do it. This is what I use to not only put in my comps for the new construction and the land comps. I put together loan terms for builders so that I can kind of show them this is pretty much what your project will look like based off of the comps that I'm seeing. Here's, a loan. This is based off of you have experience. Here's your interest rate. Here's the, loan to cost, loan to value. And this is more advanced. This is going to help you out, not only as a wholesaler, but once you kind of get to the point where you can stack up enough money so you can take down land and you can do deals, it's best for you to understand how these lenders are pricing out deals. You know what I mean? So like if you're a builder or if you're a fix and flipper, right? And you're looking to go use private money, and even if you're using banks, this is pretty much what you're going to need, right? Your loan application, the ID, proof of funds, your entity docs, right? So if you have a LLC or a corporation, but we're going to go off of LLC, so certificate of formation, your IRS EIN number, your operating agreement. Experience docs. So experience is going to be HUDs or settlement statements, right? So if you flip 10 houses over the past 2 years, you should have 10 settlement statements that you can provide to the lender. Same way if you're a builder, right? If you're a builder, what I would do is I would have my HUDs, and then I would have maybe like a one pager with your company name, your website, a little bio of your experience and how many years you've been in the business. Send that along with your settlement statements. Boom, there you go. Then your budget, right? So if you have a renovation budget, you have a construction budget. Make it as detailed as possible because a lot of these lenders are going to require appraisals. And for your appraisal to come back strong, obviously you need the comps, but you want to let the appraiser know the details and specifications, the type of finishes that you're using, so that way they can take the right properties and compare them, so that way your appraisal can come back strong. And then your architectural plans. This is going to be more so for development, but your architectural plans and elevations, you have to have that. And then your permits. So a lot of companies won't require you to have permits to close, but before you break ground, again, this is a construction channel pretty much. We're going to be talking about ground up stuff, but before you break ground, they require you to have permits, right? So, and then obviously as purchase contract or HUD, if you're doing a fix and flip, right, and you're wrapping the purchase up inside the loan, they're going to need to see that you actually have the property under contract. So they're going to need the 1-4 residential for here for a Trek form. And then if you paid for the land cash and you're bringing that land in as equity, then you're going to need to be able to show the settlement statement, that you closed. And so that way they take a look at the seasoning period as well. Because you might, if you bought the land 3 years ago for 100,000 and it might be worth, 175, that's more equity that'll make your terms cheaper. You might come to the closing table with nothing, right? So that's just something that pretty much what you're going to have to look at. And that's like I said, this is going to make you stronger as a wholesaler because it takes you from basically being able to only provide land to now it's a full stop shop. I can provide you the land and I can go out and I can shop these terms for you and I can come back to you with I got these 5 lenders based off of your experience, based off of your project, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is where they're going to be at with the interest rate, the points, your loan to cost, being able to explain that and give them that option. They're going to take you a lot serious and you can make a lot more money. You can charge 0.5%, 1%, 1.5% broker points on that, or maybe just a flat fee, whatever works for your business. And that's why building relationships with these builders is going to benefit you, right? I'll kind of give an example a little bit later, but then like we'll go back to the CMA, right? So what I like to do is I'll put land sales so I know what's on market, like what's the market rate. If the market rate is $20 a foot, and I have something for $16 a foot, $17 a foot, I know I got a deal, right? I know I can flip this. And then I'll put the new construction comps down here, right? So I know how to do the math with the 15% of what their resale value of what their building is going to be. Here is more so like the ROI. So basically it's going to spit out how much money they make on, like how much money they're potentially could make on the project. So if we were to do something simple, right? Like let's say they paid, let's say they paid $100,000 for the land. Let's just do something like something simple. They paid $100,000 for the land, right? Their experience, they've done 10 builds over the past 2 years, right? So that'll put them in expert. They have a 700 credit score, all that. So let's say we'll be able to put them at a 10 and a quarter on the rate. We'll go 85 and 70 loan to value, and they're building townhomes, right? So in order to kind of get this right, we know for townhomes, you just go ahead and use the calculator. Let's say they're doing something simple. They're doing 3-bed, 2.5-bath townhome, 1,800 square feet. So let's say 1,800, and it cost them $115 a foot to build. Okay, so that's going to be 207,000. They're building 2 on a 5,000 square foot lot times 2, 414,000. That's their build cost, right? So 414, boom, 414,000. Now the estimated value for these townhomes, let's say it's going to be equals 380,000 times 2, 760. Okay. Now the proposed loan amount. This is the important part. So you're going to go and you see you're going to be capped, right? So let's say the cost is at 103, but we're capped at 85, right? So play around with it. Like, I mean, see how I'm just changing numbers and trying to make it work. All right, cool. So you can see for the loan amount is going to be 437, right? You have equity of 100. You purchase the land cash. 414 is your build cost. So then we come down to property insurance. You're building 2. So let's just go 200 times 2 insurance. Now the points. Here's the lender points. 2%. Let's say they're giving you 2%. We're going to charge 2% points. Now, if you were the wholesaler on this deal and you help the builder secure the loan and you're like, I charge 1%. you can see how much money you would make on this deal. So let's say you charge 1%. So that's at 4,370 when this loan closes, not when they finish building. So if you made $5,000 wholesaling the land to the builder, or in the case that we did, the 80 to 100, you made 20 grand. Now you're back door making 4 grand, right? If you were to broker this. So you can see, all right, so here we go. The closing costs, cash to close is see the parentheses means negative 8,374. It's like, why is the closing cost negative? The reason why it's negative is because this is your equity. You came in with 100K. Now, let's say if we didn't do that and you wrapped it in to, you see, what you would need to come to the closing table with 100K. But since you purchased the land already, you don't have to come to the closing table with anything. All right. So boom, we have this loan set up right here, right? With 85. See, false here, cash to close, because there's no cash at closing. Now monthly max. So max monthly. So remember, with private money, you're paying interest on what you draw, right? So if you're fully drawn, meaning when you fully draw the 414,000, you're paying 10 and a quarter on that. So this is what it's going to be looking like per month, fully drawn. So when you fully draw, the house is built out. The longer that property sits on the market, the longer you coming off for $3,372.71, right? So you want property, you want to be basing your comps off of, stuff that's selling between 30 days to maybe 90, right? So how do you look at that? Let's go back over here to the ROI. So what we have here is this is the months that it's sitting on the market. This is going to be comprised of all the monthly interest, any type of realtor fees that you're paying, and your net profit and return on investment is going to be down here. So you see it's looking negative right now. But what you need, borrows initial investments. What you need to make sure you do is, since you paid cash for the land, you need to make sure you include that. Okay, so now you see these aren't negative anymore. Then what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, how long is this project going to take, right? Let's say it takes you 4 months. Let's say 4 months to get it up, and it takes you 2 months to sell it, right? So we're going to say 6. Take you 6. We're going to drag it out to 7. Boom. Right? So the whole project is going to have it sold by here. So this right here is what you're going to be looking at, net profit after everything is paid. If you get it sold in month 7, you're walking away with 164, and here's the percent of return. So what I like to do is I like to send this to my clients, builders who I'm working with, my end buyers. I'll highlight this, and I'll just go all the way up to month 12. I'll give them this caption like, hey, look, this is what your project will look like if you were to build this, if you were to proceed with this loan based off of these terms, right? And so this is something that I'm going to send you guys. Like when you purchase that, we'll go over that, how to put these inputs. You see the blue when you're using Excel. This is what you change. Don't change. You can't do anything else. These numbers are locked in. But you can always, if the lender's charging 1.5, right, and you're putting your 1% in, you can always mess with that. Your construction budget, the equity changes, or if it is a purchase, right? You're a wholesaler, you're working with single family residential, and they're putting in purchases. Cool. Maybe you're talking to a lender, they might be at 90% loan to cost, right? And 75% loan to value. Their rate though may be 11%. So all that stuff is interchangeable, right? And it's going to affect the returns, as you can see here. All this stuff is automatic, okay? And we're going to go over using this so you get comfortable with doing it. But this is going to be included, and this is how you look at deals, not just from an investor standpoint, but how a lender is going to look at it, right? You know what you need here, and this right here, the proof of funds that they're going to require based off of the information that you get. right? So this is something that, I believe is a great tool in a lot of land wholesalers probably don't have, right? And so in my type of training is like, I want to give you the correct data. I want to give you the way tools that you have to have in order for you to get deals closed. Here's a density calculator. Let's say if it's a 5,000 square foot lot and you want to put 2 units on there, you see right here, you can't go past 35, right? Okay, I can put more actually. So let's say 4. That puts me, so I can put 4 units max on a 5,000 square foot lot based off of the city of Houston's ordinances in terms of, how many units you can put on per lot. That's what the density means. You do this up front, and then you can go back to the loan worksheet that we were just on, kind of put some terms together. Okay, if you're going to build 1,500 square feet, this is how much you're going to need. This is your experience, all that stuff. Go ahead, highlight that, and send that to your guy. You'll have the loan worksheet, terms, the returns, and the CMA highlight screenshot. And this, you don't think that's going to have that builder, that developer looking at you like, okay, this guy must know what he's doing. So this is all the stuff that you're going to be equipped with day one, right? So that way, when you starting out, you're starting out the right way. You're not falling, tripping as you go, right? You're not looking like a noob. You're going to be be looked at as a professional from day one. So, this is something else that you're going to have. And then last but not least, you're going to have to build out your lead list, right? I like to build my leads. Kind of don't purchase leads anymore. I like to build my own leads out. This is a blank lead list right here. First name, last name, address, city, zip code, however many phone numbers you want to take. Me personally, I only take the most recent. I don't go anywhere past 2021. When you're buying numbers and you might have a lot, some of them numbers might be from 2011, 2012. That's why I'm like, until there's a better way to purchase numbers, to purchase lead lists, even using PropStream, I'll just spend the time to build my own list because I'll save myself so much time just getting the most recent numbers versus having to call and go through and you don't know what numbers are old, what numbers are new. So you'll have this as well, a way for you to, if you're using, this is Redfin, here we're in a market in Houston, here's some sold new construction in this area. So I know, okay, on Manor Street, Nathaniel Brown, townhomes are being built and sold. I'll come over here. This is Regrid, is free. I'll come over here. This is the same zip code. I was already taking a look at this stuff. If you were manually, this is a manual thing, right? As you get more money or be able to hire people and stuff like that, you can teach them how to do this. So you can kind of scroll down in here and just look for the lots that are vacant, right? So, okay, let's say Derek Mitchell, he owns 3502 Mount Pleasant, right? You'll click here. It'll show you the square footage of it. It'll give you what the land value is based off of the market and the address. And you just highlight that, put it in the True People search. It'll pop up, find the name, call the numbers. That's it, right? And if they answer, even if they say, no, I'm not interested in selling, that's still a lead for future follow-up, right? And that's exactly how you would do it. And you can kind of confirm, like you can go, so I'll go 3502 Mount Pleasant. I'll just go here, just see. Okay, so see here, Derek Mitchell, 10,900 square feet. This has 11,198. So, I mean, you're going to have to get a survey, right? The survey is going to determine what it is at the end of the day. 3502 Mount Pleasant. Then here's their mailing address. Then you will go and see, okay, cool. Here's their mailing address. But yeah, so this is all you need to do in order to get you started. Take a look at your market first off. Learn if there's new construction going on. You need to take a look at that. Call builders, call realtors. Realtors who are selling new construction, they have relationships with builders and ask them, hey, look, I'm looking at getting into the market. I'm looking at finding land, doing deals. Just kind of want to talk to a builder. can I have the contact information or the name of the company? You got to have some grit in this business, right? You got to have some sort of creativity. If you want to make some money doing this shit, you have to find a way to kind of get over those small hurdles up front. Like learning your market is going to be key. Understanding, okay, build costs. Talk to the builders. What's the price per square foot on projects that you're doing? Is that common? You just got to have those questions. You know what I mean? Like, what's the typical sale time? Are you going into some hurdles right now? Like lumber prices going up? Do you find it the inspections and stuff like that are a little tough to overcome? Or, is the city backed up when it comes to getting your permits approved, et cetera? All those are going to be questions that you would ask a builder up front so you understand your market. And then, okay, cool. Like typically what size lots are you doing? Like, are you building on? Are you currently still, looking for lots, looking for new projects? Okay, cool. And then you might talk to 5 to 10 builders, asking them the same questions. You have 5 to 10 end buyers, learn their criteria, and go out and find deals for their criteria. It's that simple. It's not rocket science at all. If you are interested, right, go ahead, click the link below, go purchase it. It's a one-time $97 payment. I think is I want to build a community of people who want to make money. Also, I don't want to sell you any fluff. It's like you're probably not going to be making $5,000, $10,000 a month out the gate. It might take you a year or maybe 2 or 3 to really, really get going once you have your systems and processes in order. We haven't even gone over CRM systems and stuff like that to use. I believe you don't even really need that up front. You just need to make sure that you're making the phone calls. You're making the calls, you're making the offers, you're building your buyers list out, you're building your lead list out for future follow-up. That's going to make you the most money up front. It's going to put you in a position to win ultimately. So again, if you found this video helpful, please do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share it to somebody else who this possibly could help. And that's pretty much all I have for you.